Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Zero Analyst. This is the day one of our SQL mock interview series. In this series, I'll be taking mock interview with 10 to 15 different candidates who have registered for it. If you want to register, you can check the link in the video descriptions and you can register for it. In this series, I'm going to ask multiple different challenging questions to easy level questions to these candidates. Now, if you're planning for any interview, like it could be data analyst, business analyst, data engineering, this session is going to be very helpful because you will be getting a lot of interview questions which is going to be solved by the candidate, and you can also solve these questions by yourself. If you have given any recent interview, you want to include any specific questions, you can send that questions to me. And if you want to join this SQL mock interview series, registered by clicking the link in the video descriptions. Let's wait for the candidate to join the call and then we will start the video. Okay, so let's start.
So, hello sir, my name is Uday Mehta. I am from Gandhinagar, the capital of Gujarat. I completed my BTech graduation in 2019 from one of the renowned college in Gujarat, Pandit Dindayal Petroleum University, and I have done my graduation in electrical engineering. After that, I worked as an electrical engineer for uh, 2 years. I also prepared for renowned exam UPSC and GPSC state PCS. And after that, I started preparing for data analyst job because I wanted to shift my career from electrical engineer to data analyst.
Okay.
So for the
Got it.
past 5 months, I'm learning data analyst different skills, learning different tools and languages, Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and SQL.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing the detailed introductions, Uday. And just want to know, like as you said that you're planning for a data analyst role. So you have been learning SQL and you have learned SQL. So how do you rate yourself in SQL, let's say on the scale of 1 to 10, and why?
Okay. So, so I would rate myself in SQL maybe out of 10.
Okay.
Till now, I have not tested myself in SQL. Yes, I have done projects from Zero Analyst channel, advanced level projects as well, like Zomato project. But still, I have not tested myself enough in SQL. But I would say I will rate myself 5 or 6.
Okay. So which are the topic you feel confidence in SQL? Like, is it join, group by, or any specific topic where you feel like confidence in SQL?
Okay, sir. Sir, the basic concepts in SQL like group by, join, then having filter filter functions like where.
Okay.
Nowadays, I'm focusing more on Windows functions as well, like aggregating functions as well. So I would be much comfortable in basic to advanced level, intermediate level concepts in SQL.
Okay. Do you know the full form of SQL?
Yes, sir. The full form of SQL is Structured Query Language.
Okay. And what is the difference between SQL and MySQL?
So, sir, SQL is the particular language, but MySQL is we use MySQL as a database where we can store our data and do SQL query and fetch relevant information.
Yeah,
So,
that's correct. So MySQL is the relational database management system.
relational database management system, same
Correct.
as a PostgreSQL, then Microsoft SQL Server.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. What do you know about null in SQL? Null
Okay,
values.
okay. So null values in SQL, the data we have in our database. So sometimes it doesn't contain any value, any particular value. So it will show as a null. So as a data analyst, we need to consider null value as a 0. So during performing any query, we need to take consider very much like null value. We have to consider null value. So
Can you give an
null value,
example? Can you give an example? Let's say you have a maybe customers data, okay, like one of the company customers informations. So let's say which information is important, and let's say you have a null. So how you're going to deal with it? Let's give it example like maybe the customer address.
Okay.
So if the customer address is missing, how do you think you're going to deal with that null values?
Sir, if customer value null,
Address.
if customer address is a null value, and if I have a huge massive amount of data, then I would prefer to remove the null values, so particular row, because it can during doing further aggregation, so it can generate some kind of errors or give me not a proper results. So I would prefer to remove the null values if I have a massive amount of data. If I have a limited amount of data, then I would inquire with data engineer to give me more information about the null values.
Okay, great. So last one questions about the theoretical concept. Okay. So do you know difference between union and union all?
Okay. Actually, sir, I have studied this concept, but right now I'm little confused with
Anything
union.
that anything you feel you know or anything you remember?
Okay. Mm,
It's okay. You can also say no that maybe I don't
I,
properly
I
remember
I
that.
don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So union is basically when you write a SQL select statement. Let's say you are selecting specific few columns. Let's give an
Okay.
example. Let's say you have a orders data of Amazon, and you have a order date, order amount, and maybe the customer ID and the product name, like four columns. Okay. So you have selected four columns in a SQL select statement. Now you have the same data maybe for the last year. From that data also you are going to select four columns. Okay, now number of columns has to be same in both select statement, and the data type has to be same in both select statement. Like we will combine both the data together. Now I can use union, and I would just need to say SQL statement, like the first SQL statement which select four columns from one table, and then I would write the another SQL statement which is going to select another four columns from another XYZ table. It could be a different table, just the number of columns should be same and the data type has to be same. Now in the middle I can write union or I can write union all. I will tell you the difference. If I write union, it is going to just combine the data in the below. Like let's say in the first table you have got, let's say 20 rows data, okay, of four columns. Then you are combining with another table's data that has a 50 rows data. So this 50 rows data is going to add it after the last row of the first select statement. Okay, if you use union and the union all, the difference between union and union all is that union all is going to basically include the duplicates as well. Union is not going to include the duplicates. Let's say you have a sales by the customer, maybe by your name, which is Uday. Okay, and the order ID is like one, and the order date is also same. Everything is the same in both the table. So one data is going to be eliminated if you use just union, but if you use union all, it is going to select the both the rows from both the table. Okay, that's the only difference.
Okay.
Okay, so let's maybe I'll just give you maybe a simple problem statement, and let's see if you can solve it. Then I would give it a little bit medium level of problem statement. So you can share your screen,
Okay.
and you can maybe launch any toolpad like a text notepad, like wherever you write SQL query. It could be pgadmin or MySQL. Anything is fine. So let me give you the right. Okay, I can see you are sharing the screen. Perfect. Okay.
Sir, I'm opening Microsoft SQL browser. Is it fine?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so first, simply create maybe a simple database. Okay, so where you're going to create a simple table, employee table.
Okay. So, uh, sir,
Yeah,
I need to create by my own self.
yeah, by yourself, just create a simple database. If you already have the database, that is fine. You will just need to create a kind of tables. Okay, I will be giving you the query to create the tables. Then you need to solve the problem which I'm going to give it to you. Okay.
Sir, should I use my like own database on which I'm working right now? So it will
Yeah, it
be
is okay. If it is okay if you can use the existing database as well till the time it's not the kind of same tables, because otherwise you would not be able to create the tables, right?
okay. Mm,
So I want you to create a simple employees table, and I'm going to give you the query to create the table. Give me 1 second, okay? So in the chat box, I'm sending you a SQL query. You can just copy paste this query as it is. It is going to create a table and insert the records, okay?
okay, sir. That's fine.
Yeah, copy everything as it is.
Right, sir.
Okay, so the table is created, right?
Mm,
Give me just 1 quick second, okay? Oh, sorry for that. So right now, just maybe write a query and to show me how many employees are there. Can you basically write a query and show me how many employees are there?
how many
If let's
employees
say
are
we
there?
want to count how many employees are there, how you're going to write it?
Sir, total 11.
Yeah, that is correct. Now, can you write a query to show how many unique departments are there from this table, which is employee tables?
From employees.
Yes, we want to find out the number of unique departments. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, 3.
Yeah, okay, that's correct. Thank you. Okay, so one more question I have it here on these data sets. So we want to find out the top two employee with the highest salary.
Top 2 employees.
Yes, the employees who's drawing the highest salary, the top two employees. You can use a select star, that is fine. So even if you are selecting all the columns, that is still fine. So we just need to find out the top two employees who has the highest salary.
Right, sir. Sir, actually, I got this answer, but I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how to get only top 2 only.
Okay. So okay, so
Hmm.
you usually use limit, right?
Oh, yes, sir, right.
Give me one quick second. So I guess you're using SQL Server, so you can use I think top only you can use. So otherwise you can use limit.
Right, sir. So in PostgreSQL or in my
Yeah, so a little bit syntax difference, but I guess it's okay. So you got the concepts right.
right,
So okay, this is fine. Now I have
so
last one more question for you. Okay, so
okay.
that is a little challenging questions which I have. So now you have this employee table, like you have gone through this employee table, right? So you can delete this one, okay? Like this queries, you can delete it. Last one, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So in this employee table, you have something called manager ID. Okay. So here,
Hmm.
this manager itself is the employee in the same table.
Okay.
Now, what you need to find out, we need to find out those employees who has a salary more than their managers.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
now I can explain this. Let's say for the employee ID one, the manager is missing. So because that is itself is a manager. Okay, now if you see the employee ID two, that is Bob. So Bob manager is employee one because the Bob
Okay.
manager ID is mentioned as one. So that means Bob salary is 85,000 here mentioned here, and the salary for Bob manager is going to be employee one salary, which is 75,000. So that means we are looking for the employee informations who has a salary which is more than their manager's salary. So
Okay.
intentionally we will be getting this employee which is kind of Bob. Okay, so how
Okay.
do you think you can solve this and you can write the query? If you need any help, so you can let me know.
Sir, let me try. Sir, do we need to use subquery here?
Well, you don't have to use a subquery. If you need a hint, so I can say that you can use a self join to solve this.
Okay. Right, sir. Hmm. So the syntax of self join is itself a self join, right, sir?
No, syntax is going to be again the
Join.
first table. You can call it as a E1.
Okay.
Okay, and from the E1, that's say you are selecting the employee and the salary.
Okay. No, sir, but here I need to use join only or self
Yeah,
join.
you need to use join. You can use a inner join. That is fine. You can simply write as a join. That is totally fine. Inner join is also fine. Okay. Now you will be joining the same table with itself, which is the employee table. You can give a different alias for the second table.
Sir, here how to like write the E2, the employee, it's a second table. So
See, first of all, I guess here the challenge that you are experiencing right now is that you have mentioned the first table as a imp. Okay. So
yes,
first
even.
table you can name it, let's say, as a employee one, and the second table you can name it as a employee two. Correct? Maybe E2 is fine. You can name it as a E2.
Okay.
I guess again
No,
this is
no, 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 no.
this
I,
yeah.
I got it, sir. I got it. Let me run this one.
So what do you think the problem here?
Sir, right till now here.
Till now, before where? Yeah, till now here. Why you are not getting the answer? Let's say if you debug it, so how you're going to debug it? So what do you
Right, sir.
think?
So here the salary and employee name column is a very ambiguous, sir. So SQL like server is not able to figure out like this column is coming from which table. So I need to.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope this solves the issue.
Well, I think the problem is that you are writing the dot reference at after the tab after the column name. It has to be
Okay.
before the column name. So even for all the places wherever you have mentioned after the column name, it has to be before the column name.
Oh,
So in the on condition, still you are using the reference in the wrong place, which would be before
mhm.
the column name, right?
Right, sir. Okay. Mm,
So I guess here you have done the join. Okay. So when you do a self join, the relationship between two tables you need to define correctly. So you're saying from the first table, you are looking for the manager ID. For that manager ID, you are looking into the second table. In the second table, you are looking in the employee ID. Okay. Because let's say for the one specific employee, the manager ID is one. So you are going to check that employee information, right? Not that employee manager informations.
Okay. Right, sir.
So here you do the join with the employee ID. The first of all, this is the join that you will do. Once you are done the join, then you get basically each of the employee and their salary. Now the next challenge would be how to get their manager's salary, correct? So the table 2 that we have, in the table 2, that employee salary is going to be itself as a manager salary. Let's say we want to get the manager salary as well. So you can add a one more column after the employee salary in the select statement. Okay, from the table 2. So from the table 2, try to add the one more column, which is the salary column. So that is going to be the manager salary, im2 dot salary, and you can save it as a manager salary. Okay.
But sir, from employee to I am taking the employee ID, sir. So will it give me the manager's salary or the employee's salary, sir?
It is going to give the employee salary, but employee 2 is basically for what? Let's say you were joining the table based on the manager ID and employee ID. So that
Right, sir.
person itself is the managers, right? Because if you get the name as well, you can also get the from employee 2, you can get the employee name and you will see the difference.
So here, sir, I can give the name of this table as a employee salary and manager salary, sir.
Yeah, I can just say employee. No, this is going to be the manager salary, right? The first one is the employee salary.
Yes, sir.
The first one is the employee salary. The second one is going to be the manager salary. So any data that you're getting from the employee table, the two, that is the manager table. So if you see right now, you have the employee name, employee salary, and the manager salary. You can also get the manager name from the table too. So it's going to be more easy to solve the problem. So how you will be getting the manager name from the employee to table?
Sir, I'm just saying, okay, sir. Okay. So,
Yeah, this is correct. So here, if you see all the employee who is having salary which is more than their managers, you can see it here. Okay. So
okay.
this is perfect. So this is how we kind of solve the problem using self join. Now, let's say I want to also see along with this manager salary, I would also want to see their manager name. So how will you get their manager name here? The fourth column, let's say we want to see their manager name as well.
So is
So do you
this the
think it's correct?
that was I was validating my answers here with
Mhm.
the original table. So from the Bob Smith, it looks correct. Uh,
Okay. So do you have a
Alex,
confidence that this is the correct result?
it's the last try. Mm. Yes, sir, it's the correct answer.
Yeah, this is correct. So I was just checking. So the way you have done, which is great, I guess you have validated the right way. So yes, this is how we can verify that the solution is correct, because we are getting the right answers. Because if you see the employee two, which is called Bob, so Bob manager ID is one, and that one is basically employee ID, and that belongs to Alice, right? Because Alice has the employee ID one, and if you verify the Alice salary, that is going to be which is 75,000, and the Bob salary is kind of here. If you see 95,000, okay. So this is, I would say, this is perfectly correct. Okay. Now, if you have any doubt, anything you want to ask about this.
Okay. Sir, still I'm little confused in this thing. So employer one and employer two. Actually, I have a little issues, like I'm little doubt with the inner join, self join, sir.
Okay.
So,
So let me explain. Okay.
it looks a little confusing with me.
Okay. Yeah, I know this is a little bit confusing. Let me explain with the example. Okay. Let's say
Okay.
forget about the join and everything. You have two tables,
Hmm.
employee table and one more employee table. So can you just run the query, select from employee and select from employee, two queries same time, copy paste it again. I put it
Uh,
below.
okay. This one, sir, select. No.
No, no, just over there only. Just put it twice. Okay.
Okay. So what are the changes I need to do, sir, here?
No, no, you don't have to do anything. Select everything from employee that you have selected earlier. Just put it again. So copy paste the select everything from employee and edit again. Yes, just this line. Yeah. Yeah. One more line.
And one more line again.
One more line, the same line. Yes. So you see the table twice.
Okay.
Go to next line. Yeah. Paste it. Control V. No. Yeah. So close both the query. Close both the query. Okay, fine. So here, let's understand here how it is working. Okay. Forget about the join and everything. Let's say you have two tables, one table with the same data. Okay. The first table and the second table. So first table, you're calling it as a employee one, and the second table, you're calling it as a employee two. Okay. Now you don't have
Okay.
SQL. You simply have the table. Now
Okay.
from here, I want to find out the employees, each employee and their kind of manager name. Okay.
Okay.
So if you see the data, the first row, okay, you see there
Hmm.
is a something called manager ID is missing. So for
Yes,
that
sir.
employee, you cannot find a manager name because we do not know
He
that
himself is a
employee
manager.
manager ID, correct?
Right, sir.
Okay. If you see the second data, second row from the first table, you see the employee name is Bob. The employee ID is 2. Salary is 95,000. The department is 101. And if you see here, manager ID, which is
Is one
called 1. Okay.
who is a
Now,
ally. Oh. Hmm.
yes, how you will be getting this manager name? First of all, you know the
Hmm.
manager ID now.
Hmm.
Can you tell me the logic how you will be getting this person name who has this ID 1?
Okay. So
You have the second table, you have the below table. From the below table, you need to find it.
so
Where
I
you're
need
going to check
to
it?
join it with the second table,
No, no,
sir.
I forget about SQL. Just simple logic. Let's say there is no SQL exist. How you're going
Okay.
to kind of find it? This person's more information with this key one. If
Okay.
you have the second table for that,
Hmm, 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 hmm. So if I have both the tables, sir, right?
you have it.
So
You have it in front of you already. So from the
I have
second
it. I
table,
have it. Yes, I have it. So just by looking at it, sir. So manager I for the employee number two, Bob Smith, the manager ID is one, which is Elias Johnson, sir. Right? So
how you got to
from
know
the
Elias Johnson? But from the second table, in which column you have checked this one?
I checked manager ID one with employee ID. So I
Yes,
matched
this is
both.
this is the logic I was talking about. So here,
Okay.
when you are doing manually, forget about SQL and everything, you're doing it manually. What you are doing is that basically you are taking that key, which is the ID, because we know that that ID has more information, correct?
Right.
It has a kind of name, person, salary, so many things, right?
Hmm.
Now we have a table, which is the second table. We cannot check in the same table we have one more table. In that table, we need to find out which column I'm going to look for this ID.
Right,
Obviously, if
sir.
you try to look for that ID in the employee name or salary, you cannot find anything, right?
Right, sir.
But if you look in the first column, which is called employee ID of the second table, and you will find a
Mhm.
match of one, correct? Which is the first row itself. And
Hmm.
then from that row, you can get anything in return. You can say that you want to return employee ID itself, you want to return the employee name itself, you want to return the salary itself, you want to return the department itself. Now, if you are returning the employee name, that
Hmm.
employee name is what? It is the manager, correct?
Hmm.
Why? Because in the first table, if you go back to the first table, for every
Manager
row,
ID is null. So
for
that's why.
yes, for every
Hmm.
row, you're only looking for a person with the ID, which itself is a manager ID. So that means for
Hmm.
that ID, if you get more information, that information would be considered as his manager's information, like it's a salary or whatever it is, right?
Hmm.
So based on this logic, we have done the join. Now you can do the join. This all the columns would be combined in the first table. Now for every manager ID, you would have their name, their salary, and whatever it is, right? Now you can
Right, sir.
select it, the column that you want to select using employee one or employee two. So employee one is basically for that employee, employee two is basically for that employee manager's IDs informations. Now you
Hmm.
can use the where condition, which you have done. Great. So this is how basically you kind of got the employee who has a salary which is more than their manager salary, and you have also shown their kind of the manager name as well. Okay.
Right, sir.
Again, so I guess this concept is now clear. Correct.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, perfect. So anything else you want to ask?
Sir, uh, same here. Like I have one more doubt here. So when I used limit function, limit here, so so it doesn't show any result, right, sir? So I was not aware with the fact that the syntax is different with um, different relational database management system. So I was not aware. So is
Okay,
there
that's okay.
any?
See, that is very rare. So basically, with just the limit, you would have a kind of slightly difference. It is called, I guess, it is top in SQL Server. Okay, and MySQL and Postgres SQL, they have same as like limit. Okay, you can again check the syntax difference. Not too many syntax difference are there. Little bit of syntax difference is there with the different RDBMS, like with maybe the two care characters or small syntax difference, but the logic would be same.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Right, sir.
even if you know in one SQL, it is fine. Even if you are saying that I have only used Postgres SQL or MySQL, and this is the syntax for Postgres SQL, I don't know the syntax, it is totally okay. So nobody is going to kind of give a negative marking because of that, because it is possible that you would not have knowledge of all the RDBMS. If you know that there is something which is called limit, so you know the logic, correct? So
Hmm.
again, whatever the syntax apply, you can basically write that, and that's how you will be getting kind of the solutions, right? So that is totally okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Fine, sir.
Okay,
So if
perfect.
you want.
So talking about my feedback about this session, okay, I would just give a very short feedback on the everything about the interview. Though it is a mock interview, I mean, it was a mock interview, but again, so I mean, you join on the time, so I really appreciate that. Second is basically you have explained about your experience. I mean, about yourself, which is really well. I think very nicely you have basically explained about yourself. I like that point. Third, only the improvement suggestions which I will be giving to you is that basically learn more. Okay, solve more problems, learn more problems, and enhance your skills. Like you have said that okay, you are kind of out of 10, you are 6. Okay, I mean again you have to tell the truth, but I would expect something like maybe 8, right? So once you learn the window functions, if you're having some challenges with window functions, try to
Hmm.
learn that, try to solve some more problems. Okay, once you learn that, then again you would be confident, you would be able to tell that okay, I am kind of maybe 8 or maybe at least 7, right? Because 6 would be little less compared to 10. That is the first thing. The second thing is that whenever you're solving any problems, okay,
Hmm.
don't rush. Okay, because what I've noticed is basically you're just kind of I've given you the questions, you're trying to solving it right now. First you can cross question something like okay, some
Okay.
questions, right? Like, okay, do I need to return all the columns, or I can just use a star to kind of only or I can select a specific columns, right? So that could be maybe one of the question which you can ask. Or again, you can ask some questions, understand the problem first, okay, like what we are trying to achieve here. Okay, so let's say now, as I said, that I am looking for only employee who has a salary which is more than their managers. Now you can first view the table that, okay, we have an employee table. Unfortunately, we do not have a manager table where I can find that manager's salary, correct? So you can maybe ask more questions like, how do I get the manager informations? So as we do not have a manager table, I am not sure how I will be getting the manager kind of the salary. So here maybe I will maybe explain that, okay, so we need to use some logic here to kind of join the same table itself based on the manager ID, and in the same table with the employee ID, so that we can find that managers more information from a second table, which is basically the same table. Okay, so I would suggest, whenever you're solving any problems, try to understand first, go through the table, each and every, I would not say each and every row, but each and every columns, and try to understand the problem. First, try to understand the data, because once you understand the data, then you can understand the problem, and then you can easily solve it. You can build logic. Okay, rest everything is really great, and keep learning. Okay.
So one thing I noticed in myself, sir, as you are suggesting me, as you are giving me feedbacks, so I'm rushing myself whenever I'm solving the problem without first of all understanding the problem fully itself. So should I write the question?
Yes, best. That's, I would say that's the best approach. I mean, when I also solve in the real kind of the interview, if it is not like I'm just not giving the interview to the bot or the computer machine. So I first ask the question. They will give the question. I would write down the question, not maybe the whole question, but exactly like little bit line to line, like what exactly I'm looking for, and little bit short, short way in my way, that okay, so I'm looking for the employee and the salary only if their salary is more than their managers. Maybe this 2 word or 3 word I can write, and then I would start writing, building the logic. So I would first explore the table and look for the manager informations. Now I would say that, okay, there is no manager information, so that means I need to find this manager information from somewhere else. Is there any other table do you have, like the manager table, from where I can do a join and I can get the manager salary? So obviously he's going to say no, so there is no manager table. So I would then think about maybe so then I can use a different approach, maybe the self join. So maybe the interviewer is going to say, yeah, you can maybe proceed. Okay, so this is how the interview is going to be also interactive, and you would somehow also get more confidence. Okay, because that is the important part. Even if you are doing a slightly syntax mistake, it is fine. If you know the logic, if you are confident, then it is okay. Okay, because nobody is expecting you to kind of write the 100% syntax if you're giving the interview in a directly one-on-one call instead of giving the interview in a machine. So because machine or the bot will expect you to write the 100% query, but if you're giving the interview with a person, so he will understand even if you just miss one comma. So he is going to basically definitely tell you that, okay, I think you should add a comma, because they would try to see your logic building, how you're building the logic to solve that problem. Okay.
Right, sir. So I get the things. So the mistakes I'm doing while practicing or solving any problem, because I'm not dividing the problem, like I'm not
Yes.
like
So
doing the
try to divide
parts.
the problem. Try to divide the
Yeah.
problem into small chunk. Then try to see how can I first solve this one. Then I can solve this one. Maybe I need to do a join. Maybe I need to do a group by. Maybe I need to do order by or limit or whatever it is. Then you can solve that. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Then I would say thank you so much for giving your precious time, and I hope it was kind of meaningful. And I'll see you very soon. And yeah, you take care and keep learning. Okay. For any doubt, any issues, you can always reach back to me. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir, Rajesh sir, for giving me this wonderful
Thank
opportunity.
you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you. Okay. I'll just end the call now. Okay. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. If you have learned something new and if you enjoyed this video, do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new to this channel. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.